Welcome along to Hive Live Extra, our usual opportunity to look in depth at the game that we've seen today. And in the Sky Bet EFL Championship today, Watford were taking on Queen's Park Rangers at the Kai and Prince Foundation Stadium in West London. Ended up 1-1, so both teams taking away a point each. In the studio with me, I've got Lloyd, Doyley and Gavin Mahon to reflect on what we saw on the pitch. And Lloyd, it really did feel like a game of two halves, didn't it? Watford, lots of chances in the first half, maybe didn't take them as they should have done, and then second half just didn't really get going.
Yeah, I think in the first half it was quite frantic, and that actually suited Watford because Watford had a lot of good chances to put the game away. But in the second half, I think we just didn't really come out, and you know, I've got to give QPR a lot of credit. They came at Watford and put Watford under a lot of pressure, and Watford just couldn't hold the ball and keep the ball. It kept on turning over straight to QPR, and they just kept on piling on more and more pressure, and then ultimately they got the goal and could have actually won it.
Exactly, and Gavin, what do you put it down to? Was there a key moment? Is it the half-time substitutions for both teams that really was a key turning point, perhaps?
Yeah, it could have been. I think Watford didn't look like they had the energy in the second half like they did in the first half. That might be sort of players' sort of lack of fitness or international, a lot of travelling. But I think Vladimir Ivić disappointed the way they started the second half. It's as if they sort of sat back and wanted to sort of soak up pressure and just defend that one goal lead, which can always sort of come and bite you in the backside.
Well, look, you mentioned Vladimir Ivić there. We can cross over to West London and get the thoughts of our head coach on the game today.
Are you more disappointed with the way you conceded, or the fact that you weren't able to build on the early lead?
I'm disappointed after this game, and I should tell this the same if you won the game. Okay, it doesn't matter now if the game is draw, it's 1-1, or we could lose the game. We could won, and we could kill the game in the first half with a lot of chance what we missed. Okay, but it's not the way how I want to play my team. Okay, without energy, without passion, without from the beginning. We were lucky we scored in the first minute, second minute of the game. Okay, after that we create some chance after some counter-attack what we create, but again it's not the way how we want to play and how I want to play my team. We need to think a lot about this game, to analyze this game, to see what it was a problem. Now it's too early to speak about all the problems what we had. But the truth is that we had a problem, okay? The truth is that after 2 weeks, what we had to rest, to prepare ourselves to play the game, we had 3 central defenders who moved to the national teams, and all of them, it was good, okay? Can tell maybe the best players in our team who played the game, who had traveling and everything, and about the rest, cannot speak something. I cannot tell something, okay? To win one game, you can prepare the tactic, you can work day by day, you can do everything what you believe what is good for the team. But if you don't have the winning mentality, if you don't have this, and if you don't show this, you cannot win the game. I believe that it was our problem today, that we were very, very soft in the duels, in the second ball, sometimes in the set pieces, second half. Okay, we did our defense, but passive defense, not active defense. What we want to do, okay? And normally is to give chance to your opponent to score the goal, and to the end they can score in second one, and we could lose the game. Normally after first 45, the game could be 3-4-0, yes. But this is the football, and we need. If we have big goal this year, if we have big target this year, we need to change our attitude for every game, every next game.
Wow, I think it's fair to say our head coach not holding back there in his post-match press conference, clearly not happy with the performance. So Gavin, it sort of links in with what you said earlier on about the lack of passion, the lack of energy. That's really what he's focusing on, isn't it?
Yeah, I think because if you look at the first half, there were sort of direct. They were looking strong on the sort of counter attacks. Just a lot of energy, but second half they looked a little bit sort of deflated. You knew Mark Warburton was going to get the QPR players up for it because they'd been poor first half. And that's why it's so important that you start the second half, and especially in the first 10-15 minutes, on the front foot. And it's just a shame Watford couldn't do that.
And Lloyd, he mentioned that actually sort of the standout players from his perspective were the guys that have been playing during the international break, so the centre-backs. That's a tough one for the other players to take, isn't it? They'll have to look hard at their performances today.
Yeah, the three centre-backs did play really well today. But the rest of the boys, I just thought, they just lacked the intensity, especially in the second half. And as the manager said, he said, even if they would have won the game, it's not how he wants his team to play. So, I'm sure they're going to go back to the training field tomorrow morning or Monday and rectify it.
And Gavin, is it one of those, it's almost good that there isn't much time now until the next game? Look, we had the international break, arguably we had momentum then which went, but it's good now they can get back on it on Wednesday night. Yeah,
that's a good thing about this championship, because the games do come sort of thick and fast. Like Lloyd said there, there were some positives, but there was negative that need to improve on as a team. But they've got the players too. It seems to me like he wants them to be possession based with pace. In the second half, they didn't really put the foot on it and put more than 3 or 4 passes together, which will be the disappointing thing. But like you said, you go again Wednesday and get 3 points there. That's 4 points from 2 away games. You'll take that.
And look, he clearly is a manager who has a plan, knows what he wants, knows what he likes and what he doesn't like. And Lloyd, whilst the players might not like the reaction, they probably had another level of that in the dressing room. You want that from a manager. You want them to be passionate themselves, to be really clear on what they expect from you as players. Yes,
you want a manager, to be honest. That's all you really ask for from a manager. And by the looks of it, he's very passionate and honest. So, you know how to take him, you know what to expect from him. And vice versa. He wants and expects a lot from you as well.
It's time now on Hive Live Extra to get another perspective on today's game, and this time a fan's perspective. Delighted to say we're joined by Andy Lewis from the Hornets' Nest. Andy, how are you?
Hi Tim, yeah, I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure, always good, as I said, to get the fans' perspective here. And what did you make of the action you witnessed on Hive Live today?
Yeah, well, it was your sort of classic cliched game of two halves, wasn't it? We've been slow to get out the blocks sometimes this season in the first half, so it was really nice to see us go all out from the start and get that nice early goal. Fantastic for Ben Wilmot to get his first goal for the club, especially after scoring on international duty earlier in the week as well. But a really entertaining open first half, and then second half completely different. I think QPR were by far the better team, and in the end, I think we were certainly lucky to come away with a point there. But really entertaining game, and I think Watford fans this evening will be a little bit disappointed, but I don't think we should be too disheartened. Still in the playoff mix, a couple of points off top spot with games coming thick and fast. So overall, if we win our home games, draw our aways, then we're going to be in a good position come the end of the season.
Absolutely. Good mindset to have, Andy. Look, you mentioned the first half. Some real positive stuff there. End-to-end action, some of the most thrilling action I think we've probably seen in the Championship this season. You referenced Ben Wilmot, obviously great to see him get his first goal. What did you make of some of the other players and the formation with Andre up front and Sarr and Pedro either side? Yeah,
I really like the formation change. I think Watford were very attacking. It was great to see Ken Sema continue his prowess attacking this season. Another assist for him, and I just think it worked. I liked seeing Gray and Pedro play alongside each other. I think Gray was had a bit more of a presence about him than Pedro does. So I really enjoyed it, and I think Watford were by far the better team in the first half. And we should have gone into half time with at least 2 or maybe even 3 goals to the good. And then second half, I think the substitutions just changed that momentum slightly and just allowed QPR to come onto us a little bit, which is why I think we were slightly lucky to come away with a point this afternoon.
Fingers crossed here across the Hive Live studio that we're back in soon. Andy, top man, it's been great to have you on and get your insight as a fan. And look, hopefully we'll see you in a stadium soon, albeit from a safe distance.
Fingers crossed, Tim. Thanks for having me on.
Great. Cheers, Andy. Great to hear from Andy Lewis there and get that fans' perspective on the game today, because as we've said along all the way this season, Hive Live is all about you, the fans, getting you involved, making sure you're as close to action as we can possibly get you during these unprecedented times. But let's hope we can have you in stadiums very soon, because Gavin, that's the kind of game Watford away at QPR would have been a great atmosphere, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, especially with the fans right on top of you. You know, I think they would have got a real sort of rollicking from the fans at half time, no doubt, the QPR players when they came out. So it was just disappointing that Watford didn't really impose himself in the second half, because that place would have been jumping if those fans were in there.
Yeah, I mean, Lloyd, you'd have played there a lot in your Watford career. Obviously, lots of games between the two sides. How did you find going to that stadium?
I actually quite enjoyed playing at the stadium, because the fans are so enclosed and they actually feel the atmosphere. You know, obviously the fans will be missed, but we can still support our teams watching it on the Hive.
And we know that your son's going to be watching it on the Hive as well, because Lloyd's son is a big Watford fan. So I'm sure he'll be critiquing the performance afterwards when Lloyd gets home. Well, look, gents, it's been a pleasure to have you on here. Look, fingers crossed, obviously, for Wednesday night against Bristol City. But hopefully you'll join us again soon, will you?
Yes, I will.
Gavin?
Yeah, very much, mate. I loved it. So good to see you all.
Good. Well, and these guys are now Hornets ambassadors. So the club means a lot to them, and we're delighted to have them on board as Hornets ambassadors moving forward. That is all we've got time for here on Hive Live Extra for today. As we've said, we're back in action on Wednesday night, a trip to Bristol City in the Sky Bet EFL Championship. Kickoff is at 7:45 p.m. and we'll be on air from our Vicarage Road studio at 7 p.m. Get your match pass at watfordfc.com/Hive Live, and you can enjoy our pre-match show. As always, we'll have exclusive interviews and some great analysis as well. So that is all we have time for on Hive Live Extra on a day when the Hornets were held by the hoops. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you soon.
Click here, or here, or here, or here, or here.